Hey boys and girls, welcome to another super exciting, outrageous toy review. Today, we are taking a look at my haul from It's a Toy Show. It's a Toy Show is a free toy show held once a year. It used to be held at a store called It's a Toy Store, but now it's held at Point Toys. It's a toy and comic book store, and they kind of host this flea market-y toy show outside in their, in the yard of the store. And it's a lot of fun. It's like an hour and 15 minute or so drive for me, but it's definitely been a worthwhile show over the years. It's a little hit or miss as to what kind of things are there, what the prices are. There's like some people's just selling stuff like just unloading junk that they don't want and it's dirt cheap. Other people that I sometimes feel like the prices are a little high for a free show because they're not paying for tables and stuff like that. But it's kind of a mixed bag, and I want to show off all the cool stuff I got. We're going to start with this Rainbow Brite Bank. Rainbow Brite is a character from the 80s. She started out as a Hallmark card character and then got her own toy line and cartoon show. You can see the slot here in the back to put the coins in. She's got the plug on the bottom. I was always a fan of Rainbow Brite as a kid, and I just thought this was pretty cool. The date on the bottom is 1983. Next up, I bought these two figures from the same vendor. He said everything on his table was $5 a piece if you bought more than one item. I was really only interested in Ant-Man, but my buddy Tony talked me into getting the Royal Guard. He said it was a great figure. I only have one other Black Series Star Wars figure in my entire collection, so now I have two. And he is definitely cool with those robes. And, okay, Ant-Man did not come with the Paul Rudd head, and I believe the Royal Guard is missing a blaster or something that goes down here in this little holster. But definitely some awesome sculpt work on this figure below that. I don't believe the helmet is removable or anything, but this is a cool looking figure, and I will definitely be displaying him someplace prominently. The next item I got here is a capacitive electronic disc. A lot of people thought I was carrying around a record. This is actually a competitor to Laserdisc. It's an RCA video disc. So it's like a giant CD inside a plastic container that it doesn't come out of. You actually put this whole thing into the player, and the player removes the disc. It's sealed, right? Side 1, side 2. You don't actually remove the discs yourself and handle them. The front side has a great image of He-Man there. It says the episodes that are included on this. This is Volume 2. The Curse of Spellstone, She-Demon of Phantos, Like Father, Like Daughter, and Time Corridor. The back of it shows off some artwork from the episodes, and I just thought this was pretty cool, just because it's such a weird novelty thing. If
you stick it in here like this. That's ridiculous.
If you don't know anything about CEDs, I'm going to let my friend Ryan explain.
My idea, and don't quote me on this, is that it...
What, you're not an expert on this?
I'm not an expert. I don't have like 10 of these at my house, and I play with them all day. No. Basically, the way I see it is there's an electric charge that is run through it, and based on how the capacitance of that charge is, tells you what the picture would be.
Next up, I have a stack of G.I. Joe puzzles. These were made by Milton Bradley. They're mural puzzles, so each one has its own art, but they can connect to make one giant image. There were some really cool ones earlier in the 80s that people tend to remember, and these ones that are from the late 80s are less remembered. I don't think the artwork is quite as memorable on them. This one features Crocmaster and Spearhead with the Rolling Thunder in the middle. This is supposedly complete. I have not built it yet to double check that, though. Here we've got Falcon with the Defiant and the Stellar Stilettos. We've got Road Pig, Repeater, and the Bug, as well as Sergeant Slaughter on his Warthog there. I believe I had this one already, but I don't think I had any of the other puzzles. And the fourth one, the final puzzle for the mural, is the giant Voltar head with the Phantom X-19 and the APG and the Stealth Fighter and all that stuff on it. Pretty awesome. I picked up 2 carded 90s Battlecore figures, Dr. Mindbender and Gristle. These guys are, you know, not super hard to come by, but carded 90s figures are pretty cool, either to keep carded or to open up and have complete sets of accessories. Gristle here, who I always thought was part of the DEF because he's like the urban crime commander. He's part of the Headhunters unit. I think it's interesting that he's listed as a DEF guy. I guess they just sort of phased out that line. But that's what I always think of him as a bad guy from that. And Dr. Mindbender here, his card is not the best. You can see there's a little bit of tear here and his bubble's coming a little bit loose. So he may be, if I don't have all his accessories, a candidate to open up. But they were pretty inexpensive. I paid $25 for the pair. Probably the nicest item I picked up from G.I. Joe is a carded Psych Out figure. This is a vintage figure still in the package in beautiful shape. He's in a star case right now to protect him. Psych Out's not my favorite figure ever for sure, but he is cool to have carded. So I was real happy to put him in my collection. And the back of the package shows off his file card as well as all of those awesome cross-sells from 86 and 87. 2 of my favorite years of G.I. Joe. Next up, I've got some loose G.I. Joe action figures. I've got the Python Patrol Lamprey from the 2000s. The rest of these figures are from the vintage line. We've got Star Viper. In the center there is Ambush from the Dino Hunters series. He's pretty hard to come by, and obviously doesn't have his accessories. But I couldn't really just leave him there because the Dino Hunter figures are tough to get. I still need 1 weapon to complete my Dino Hunters team. So maybe I can actually trade this figure to get that knife. I also picked up Incinerator and Rock Viper, mostly doing some army building. Oh, I found another G.I. Joe I forgot I picked up. This is Track Viper. He's the driver to the Hiss 2 tank, and somebody gave him a Target backpack for some reason. Again, busy army building today. Out of my way, they got Pops! The next batch of figures I have to show off are some Funko Pops. These guys were $1 a piece, so I couldn't walk away from some great characters. I got the Adam West Batman. I believe this actually came with a Pop Ride Batmobile, but I got him loose. I picked up Slimer. I got Baby Drogon from Game of Thrones, as well as Jon Snow and Daenerys Targaryen. Those are also from Game of Thrones. While we're talking about Game of Thrones, I also picked up a Daenerys Targaryen figure from the Legacy Collection of Game of Thrones. This is one of 2 versions of her. They did 2 different outfits for her. And this one comes with a little baby Drogon in there, which I think is really cool. I'll definitely be reviewing her at some point. I'm getting close to having the complete Legacy Collection. They only did 2 waves of it, so it's not a lot of figures.
Come over here for a minute. You gotta hear what he's saying. Say it again.
Hey y'all, hey there y'all, come on back. We're gonna go on to RetroCon 2019. Are you gonna come on back down to RetroCon? You wanna go see Retro, you wanna have some fun? Let's go RetroCon 2019, Oaks, Pennsylvania. Yeah!
I picked up the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Power Dome. This is a 90s playset that went along with the Automorphing Rangers, the head-flipping Rangers. I have definitely wanted to own this for a long time. It's not in perfect shape. It's missing some stuff. It's dirty. The back of it's actually broken a little bit. So this may be a placeholder in my collection, but I was really excited to get it, and I think that Zordon face is incredible. The last batch of items I have to show off are some vintage Kenner Star Wars figures. I collect Red Snaggletooth figures whenever I find them inexpensively, and I'm pretty sure I needed a better Bosk figure in my collection. I think he has a lot of paint wear. And the guy was like kind of wheeling and dealing. He wanted $5 a piece, but then he said he would do 6 for 20. So I was already getting 2. I started looking around the army builders. This Rebel Trooper is very nice. Mine has the paint variant where the skin is much more yellow looking. There was a Death Squad Commander there. So then I just figured, all right, I'll go 6. So I picked up Klaatu and this Snow Trooper. He's a little bit yellow and, of course, missing his vinyl accessories, but I thought that this was a pretty good score. That kind of rounds out my haul from It's a Toy Show. Make sure you check out one of my other videos here on SEO Toy Review. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment down below.